short time. So, making videos quick as I can. Evan Preach Fest. Fully Evan Preach stuff only content. Because I don't want to leave the house and I don't want to record anything else because nobody's uploading. Everyone else, please upload something. You know you, please. Okay, let's get into it.
I'm not particularly impressed by what he's done.
I get called a pimp a lot, but and the reason I use the term is because I don't see it as a negative term. I see it as positively inspirational and motivating person.
Nah,
That's what he did.
Nah.
That's what he did.
Nah. Pimps, electronic and otherwise, are the lowest form of life.
My MO was find girls, make them love me, and make them work for me.
I used sex as a tool to make women love me so they'd obey me and live in my house and make me money.
I had these guys selling their houses, life savings, loans, all of it to me. Give me it all.
I was all about trying to get paid.
So, seems like a lot of conservatives are turning on the Tates and the red pill in general.
What are you charged with? That's a really good question. I'm charged with being the head of an organized criminal group, which is in charge of recruiting girls to make TikTok videos.
They face charges which include human trafficking and forming a criminal gang to sexually exploit women.
OnlyFans is the best hustle in the world.
Are they accusing you of using violence or?
No. They're accusing me of using the lover boy method, coercing them by being nice.
I don't mention webcam until after I've had sex with the girl. If you're on dates and you're trying to mention it and shit, it just doesn't work. It puts them off. I'd never do that. That's disgusting. I'm not a whore. It's just not gonna work. You continue as normal, no mention of webcam. You fuck the girl. After you fuck the girl, you do the PhD test. So yeah, on corporatetape.com I have my PhD program, and that is PhD is a pimp and hose degree that I'm
Clever.
And that teaches basically how I got girls, how I met girls, how I got girls to like me, how I got girls to fall in love with me to work on webcam for me. And you're always working. Why don't you work for me so we spend more time together? Work for you doing what? So I'll have a webcam business. Oh, I don't want to do that. So okay, I know you don't want to do that, but listen, come, let's have a meeting. Let's just talk about it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Fine. But let me explain it to you properly. In fact, I'll bring one of the girls who works for me. Your bottom bitch is the one who does the selling. You don't do the selling. The girl has to hear it from a girl. And this is where your bottom bitch has to be trained. That's why I said it's so important to have a good first girl. Because that's what I did. That was my MO was find girls, make them love me, and make them work for me. This girl's like, okay, well, I'll try it. Put both girls on camera together the first day, so the new girl can sit there and just sit with the other girl and get drunk. Give him a bottle of vodka.
First night that I worked for him, Andrew bought me like 5 bottles of wine. So I got completely drunk because I'd never done webcam work. So I was very, very nervous.
And that's how I got rich. So that teaches everything I know from start to finish about not only getting girls, not only obtaining them, but retaining them. Because that's a completely different game as well.
And over time, I just built up this big little empire of webcam girls. At one point, I had 4 locations, 75 girls working for me. I'd take around half of the money, around 50%.
You take 50%.
Around 50%.
They thought they were on 50%. And I said that the disparity is because of taxes.
He would just pay me a flat fee of £15 an hour.
We got to the point where we had these guys falling in love with my models, serious, big time in love, right? Sending crazy money. And they were convinced they were going to meet the chick. This is almost where I kind of felt bad. Because they were like, can we meet? I've sent you $200,000. I had these guys selling their houses, life savings, loans, all of it to me. Give me it all.
I was all about trying to get paid.
It always kills me that these guys.
Man, you have seen like half those clips. Just seeing them again just makes me realize, dude, you're like 2 sides of the coin. You're like helping men and taking from men. You're building an empire with men and you're taking stuff from men. I can see why you're the most Googled person on the internet. I'm not gonna say on Earth because not all of us care about you. I care because views and stuff like that. Some people just want someone to hate, and you're a perfect target for hatred. That's why you're the most Googled person on the internet, the world. I've already seen those clips. It's kind of weird so far when you see it again. It just feels odd. You've seen this film, just y'all worship this guy? No, I'm not joking. Worship him. Y'all worshipped this guy. Every time someone had a critique or something to say about him, y'all just comment below. What color is your Bugatti? Motherfucker, what? What? Dude. And he said pimp. Pimp. I think they can get to that. First, the whole webcam business, kind of very shady. Like, very shady. Very. Sleep with them, convince them, get them drunk. That's every method of making up. I can't say this without YouTube, is restricting my video. That's how pimps make their girls, their workers,
They're now the advocates for men and like men suffering and all this stuff.
Yeah,
but they just
creating
made their empire of money on stealing from lonely, depressed men.
Yeah,
it just kills me.
Dude, you are helping men, but you're also taking from men. Yeah.
The irony is so fucking mwah. It's like, hey, lonely, pathetic man, I'm going to save you, but I also made all my money by taking advantage of you. It's just so beautiful.
I'm gonna set it up so that I'm gonna create this thing with these girls.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna take your money. Then I'm gonna turn around and take your money by making you hate these girls.
Yeah. It is crazy. Like when you put it in a holistic, you're right.
You double dipped. You double dipped.
Yo.
And it's the men saying, yo, Abba and Preacher, Simps and this and that, and rooting for this motherfucker. You got double dipped.
Yeah, because now he's going on conservative outlets like Tucker Carlson.
You got double dipped. The way he said it, you got double dipped, my friend. I'm pretty sure if I've had comments like that, maybe one or two, where people just come on to me saying stuff like, nah, man, he's a top G, man. This top G used you. I can give him that. You're the top G because you're good at using people. Use women, use men, use simps. You freaking simps. You losers. You got used. The scary thing I've learned, and don't save them, just to say, I'm just going to save myself here. You can see I'm just getting fit a little bit here. A little fit. It is cold, but I don't feel it. So, I just get hot when I start talking. So, yeah. Back to my point. I did actually make a whole video about that, but I need to. I'm not good at editing. I'm not good at shit. One day.
So talk about how bad prawn is, and I'm like, bro, you made all of your fortune on prawn.
All the cars.
Why
all the
are you
mansions.
sitting here acting different?
Yeah.
You ran a webcam business.
Like I used sex as a tool to make women love me so they'd obey me and live in my house and make me money. That's what I wanted. So I was a pimp in that sense.
You're saying I never did those things, but you said that.
I'm gonna be honest with you, even I haven't seen some of these videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, do I think this dude did some trafficking? Absolutely, I believe it. I mean, based off what he said himself, that's why I believe it. Here's the thing, I don't believe somebody can run an empire with 75 different women, all of these different locations, bottom bitches, all these enforcers, and there was never no violence. From what I saw from them WhatsApp messages, there were clearly threats of violence and clearly a bunch of women who didn't want to be there. So I'm just saying, what I've seen, it doesn't make me believe that this dude was kosher and kind. No, he even tells himself, I use sex to manipulate them. I was basically coercing them, lying to them about how much they get paid and stealing their money. This dude did everything shady under the sun, admits to it on his own videos by self-snitching, and now wants to claim like, I did nothing wrong, I'm a great person. Maybe you are a much better man today, but the shit that you did in the past is still there.
Were there any other instances where there was physical abuse?
I saw him smack girls with a belt.
Some ideas?
I've seen this one.
Yeah.
This is the one that I didn't believe because the girl came on camera and said it was just BDSM stuff. Listen, if she said it, then I'm going to just let that go and move it by the wayside. I wouldn't call this against him personally.
I'm not particularly, what would you say, impressed by what he's done on the sex business front. It seems to me a bit on the pimpy side, let's say.
I get called a pimp a lot, but and the reason I use the term is because I don't see it as a negative term. I see it as positively inspirational and motivating person.
IMP, positively and positive.
Nah.
That's what he did.
Nah.
That's what he did.
Nah.
That's what he did.
Nah.
PIMP. Play it back.
No, I heard what he did.
You're not accepting?
Nah.
You're not?
Nah. That is maybe the most cringe fucking shit. Nah. It's like when the girls talk about crystals and fucking astrology. That's on that level of cringe. Oh.
No, it's the bitch. The bitch. I'm a bitch. Babe in total control of herself.
Yeah.
Fellas, if you have a hair girl say that, yeah, she's not the one G. Unless, I don't know, you into that. You know, and I'm 22. I'll get to that another time. Just, no, just, that's cringe. That's cringe. That makes me, like, yo, I feel something. I feel it. Just no.
Hey! That's it! That's an L, bro. That's it! That's an L, bro.
That's what I know.
Compared to this morning, you could do a before and after.
Pimp, positively inspirational and motivating person. They're accusing me of using the lover boy method, coercing them by being nice.
Let me read you then what you have said about what you have done.
Sure.
You have said, my job was to meet a girl, go on a few dates, sleep with her, get her to fall in love with me to the point where she'd do anything I say, and then get her on webcam so we could become rich together.
I don't think that's what I personally said. I think
that's exactly what you said on your website.
No, I've never said that.
Nah, bro. If you got that on your website, you try to pretend like you don't own the website afterwards. Because he said that. He said, I don't remember. It's on my website. But he advertises the website afterwards. It's just so crazy the way he's trying to switch around. And I understand because legally his life is on the line. So he wants to disassociate himself with a lot of his past, right? He's made his money from the sex trade. He's exploited these people. Now he wants to walk away scot-free with his money, which I understand. Any good criminal who's made a lot of money would want to be able to do that. But if you're being honest, this man did that shit and he said that stuff, and it's okay. You got to own it.
Tips on raising daughters so they don't end up 304s, prostitutes, on the pole, OnlyFans, etc. Most men I know don't have daughters for these reasons. I'll chime in very quickly and I'll say, one, I have recruited, I think, although you've worked with a lot, more girls into, I guess, the adult entertainment industry than anyone else. I really have. And the one type of girl I couldn't recruit were girls with rich parents. Oh, do that for money. I don't need money. My family's rich. So when I see these broke boys on Twitter and on Instagram be like, oh, my daughter, I'm raising her right, and she's like 9 years old, but he like works some crappy job. He's a wagey. I'm like, she's going to get that Louis Vuitton purse one way or another. So you might want to level up your game and buy it for her, my G.
Dude, do you think women are that dumb?
So since that video has gone viral, a bunch of people seen this video now and have some things to say. One of them being even Jordan Peterson, who came out. He was not holding back. Let me pull this shit up. In response to Andrew Tate in the recent video, he says, pimps, electronic and otherwise, are the lowest form of life. And people were like, no. I mean, he's not far off the truth. Listen, I don't know when this happened, or maybe this is a recent thing, but people are romanticizing pimping like it's a cool thing. No. Pimps and what they do to these women is rarely good, and very few of these women come back from that life. A lot of them fall completely by the wayside to addiction, or they end up dying shorter lives by becoming street prostitutes afterwards. But it's hard to come back from being in those kinds of situations. They destroy human life. So anybody want to sit here talking about how pimps are, no. Don't even try to sell me on that shit. Pimps are some of the lowest forms of life, and I'm not even mad at anybody who wants to say that. How do you feel about pimps? You a big fan?
No, I'm not a fan. No, I'm not a fan. How they were using bottom bitches and stuff like that to get other girls, and some of the girls were very impressed. And after that, what they go through and shit, yeah, no, not impressed.
Some people on the right, myself included, have always been a little skeptical of the guy and pointed out that he's literally a pimp. And that's not great. That's not very conducive to virtue. So Andrew Tate sat down with Tucker Carlson to insist that he's not really a pimp. And my friend Liz Wheeler over there juxtaposed his interview with Tucker with other things that he has said openly on camera and makes it seem as though either Andrew Tate is suffering from a very serious bout of amnesia or he lied to Tucker. Look, man, I never seduced women and manipulated them into working for me. That's what they're accusing me of. But isn't that so crazy? And then, as Liz points out, he's said many times publicly that this is exactly what he did. The best defense, which he sometimes makes, though recently has been trying not.
6. Yeah. Okay.
To make is that he didn't the girls, he just seduced them.
You know what's so funny about that line of thinking too is like when you were thinking about the fact that this guy would joke about them being 15, 16, but like oftentimes they were young 18, 19-year-olds. And as a grown man seducing like such young, impressionable minds to not only fall in love with you, it's like, I think it's one thing. If you a grown ass man, if you want to make these women fall in love with you and then you want to marry them, okay. You know, a 12-year age difference, you want to do that for your life, that's fine. But turning them into sex workers when they're that young and impressionable, me, is very slimy behavior. And the reason why you go for these young women is because you know they're so malleable and you can take over their minds. And then that's why you do it, right? Not only because of their virtue, their youth, but also because you know they're malleable, right? So when you're using it for your own self-interest to make that, it makes it an extra level of slimy.
A predator in the jungle is not gonna go like, oh shit, that animal looks bigger than me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's gonna go from a smaller animal that looks like a prey.
No.
Then that's what I believe that's what he did. But then again, I believe that's what he did because that's what he said he did.
That's the only reason why. If he never put out those videos on
I
instruction,
wouldn't have any proof, but he said he did those things.
Absolutely.
It's like, I don't have much to say. Like, he said that.
I think a lot of people don't care because it's women on the other end suffering, one, and two, it's women who did sex work. Yep. And so for a lot of people, once they see that, they instantly start judging them and say they're less than human, right? Mm-hmm. They don't give a fuck, which is fair. You want to think that way, that's your choice to think that way. But I would say, how many of these women would have become that if it wasn't for this guy? He says it himself. Every girl that he hired had never done this line of work before. And they only did it because he said he made them fall in love with him. So this guy's creating the very kind of women you don't like, and then you guys are therefore shitting on them for becoming those kinds of women. Just saying, if you hate those women for what they do, you should hate him just as much for making them. But no, you want to praise him. Because deep down inside, I think a lot of the people who hate these sex workers also deep down inside want to be with them in different circumstances.
When the proof is, whenever they go to different podcasts, you shit on them, but then subscribe to their OnlyFans.
Yep.
You know who you are. You know who you are. You know who you are. That one podcast, Fresh and Fit. Not Fresh and Fit, I'm not in the mood to target you guys. And the viewers. It was OnlyFans mom. Only watch you. Then everyone was just clowning her. I saw it. Everyone was just yelling at her, just saying, "You're whore, ugly, whatever." Then boom, she gets more subscribers. Why? Who? You're lucky I didn't check the numbers. You're lucky. You're lucky I didn't check the views. Check how many people subscribed. Y'all was just so hypocritical, you know?
That's why I don't like this stuff. Me, I'm perfectly fine with conservative people who want nothing to do with sex work and nothing to do with Andrew Tate. I think that's a perfectly fine thing to do based off the consistency of your morals. But people who shit on these sex workers, but also prop up the kind of man who made them, I just don't get that, in my personal opinion. And I think it's good that conservatives are distancing themselves from them because they just look like clowns when they want to talk about, oh, abortion's bad, sex work is bad, this and that. But then at this time, like, the person that they're hailing as a hero is a fucking self-admitted pimp. Mm-hmm. Really? That's who? Someone who manipulates, scams. I think it's a bit weird to have those two things juxtaposed. But that's just my opinion. Anything else?
Positively impacting, manipulating people.
Hey, apparently.
Or whatever it is.
I don't know who's actors.
He really thought he did something.
He be sounding cheesy as fuck.
He really thought he did
as the most influential man in the world in my Bugatti. It's like, okay, bro, how many times are you going to repeat you're the most influential man in the world? After the 100th time, every interview.
It is getting annoying at this point, to be honest, really. I think I should make a deep dive video on him, but they already did do that. But I think I should do my own, just looking at some specific things, you know, on Andrew Tate. Just why, man. And to the sex workers, yes, I don't condone it. I don't like it. It's very bad. It promotes a lot of behavior, even on the men's side. Like, you think this average, everyday man is a normal man, but at night he's out there buying hoes. Out there just cheating on his wife, having affairs, bro. Like, dude. Like, just on all sides, men and women. Women, yes, they take advantage of you, get you drug, get you addicted, feed on you. They treat you like a dog. Like a dog, fam. The less they give you, the more you're hungry. Like stuff like that. And it's just sad, really. Again, I don't condone it. But the guy's like this. And now hearing it again from him, it just sounds even more disgusting, really. Even though it's electronically, as Jordan Peterson said, it's still disgusting. Yes, they're not sleeping with anyone, but you're still taking people's wealth. You're taking money away from people. You're hurting a lot of people's lives right now. Like, you know, that guy who spent hundreds of thousands for a streamer, just a streamer. Yeah, she was a bit sexy, but she wasn't doing anything weird. I don't know. Maybe she has a OF account, you know. But he really sacrificed everything for this chick. But the thing is, the fact that this guy, he said he's an advocate for men, but he's making money from loser men who just want to be loved. So, and also after that, in order to help those men, you provide a hustle university that still just teaches you basic dropshipping and other basic stuff. Like, wow, dude, really? It's just, no. And I know you're gonna comment on this video saying, what color is your Bugatti? Where's your Bugatti? Dude, I'm not buying a Bugatti, first of all. I'd rather buy a whole company than a Bugatti in my country. Bugatti is more expensive than an entire building in my country. I'm not risking that. So if I make that type of money, I'm not buying anything. Kill Mahmoud. Yeah, I am tired anyway, so. It's been Triple M to King. Stay tuned for our next video on this guy. Maybe in the next few weeks.